think we can start just to be in the schedule. Thank you everybody for joining us today in our TOKERO webinar, How to Build a Profitable Portfolio in 2025. And I think in the last period it's quite challenging to build a profitable portfolio this year, but I think there is hope for doing that. And I have here all the gents today who will guide you into the process. So, with no further introduction, I will present you today Adrian Niculescu, an old friend of mine. We know each other, I think, since 2017. So the time it flies so fast. They are already around 8 years. I have here Marius Grigoras. By the way, Adrian Niculescu is now based in Dubai. I have here with me tonight Marius Grigoras from Chicago, United States, and my colleagues Sabin Simionescu, co-CEO and co-founder of TOKERO. We are building here since 2017. Once again, many years behind, and our colleague Mihai Mucenica, business developer on the TOKERO Launchpad. So I think it's much better for you guys to speak in 1-2 minutes about your experience, and after that we can start the webinar. So I think we can start in this order: Adrian, Marius, Mihai, and Sabin.
Hello, TOKERO community. After Marius made this introduction, my thought was that every overnight success has a lot of years behind it, and this is more true today than any time in the history. I'm Adrian Niculescu. I'm involved in the blockchain space and in the venture capital space since 2016, early 2016. And over these years, I had in blockchain projects CMO, CEO, business development manager roles. Also, I manage a venture fund, started a venture community called the TMRW Venture Network, have advisory roles in about 20 projects. All of them are in the blockchain space, from early stage startups to one NASDAQ listed company. What I tried from the start to be like an active part of the industry and to contribute. I speak at a lot of events. Yesterday we had here in Dubai the second day of Sigma and the IBC Summit, where I was speaker in a panel about investments in MENA region, and also I was a judge in the startup competition. I also publish books on Amazon, so you can find my author name and look for these books. And I'm very happy to be here today and contribute to TOKERO's initiatives. They are my friends, and also I'm with the eyes on them. So all the time I'm sending a message to Marius about different things. So happy to be here.
Highly appreciate that. Highly appreciate, because feedback is always welcome. So thank you, Marius.
Hey guys, thank you for having me here, and I appreciate what you guys are doing over there with TOKERO. My name is Marius Grigoras. I immigrated from Romania to United States in 2012. I've been in investments for about, I would say, close to 8 years. I started investing in real estate, and in 2019, I saw the shift in the market, and I looked for an exit from the real estate. And as a way to have my money working for me, I got into the cryptocurrencies. So currently I own a hedge fund with the main focus of trading cryptocurrencies. We diversify the hedge fund into the Forex market as well, slightly, but the main focus still remains cryptocurrencies as kind of the bread and butter for our hedge fund. currently we have $19.5 million under management, and we're growing pretty much every single day. As you see, I'm in the car and between the meetings, so it's a good time to be in crypto, in my opinion. And whoever tells you you're late to the game, it's not late. We're getting started. So
thank you, Marius. So yeah, you already gave me the heads up that you are between meetings, so highly appreciate your time and your effort today. Mihai?
Hello everybody, my name is Mihai Mucenica. I'm a business developer at TOKERO and a full-time trader for the past 5 years. Before that, I was an engineer, a telecom engineer for 2 years. But in 2020, because of the lockdown, I had so much energy that I had to put somewhere. And a dear friend of mine introduced me to crypto and trading also. And after that, I didn't look back. After 1 year, I quit my job and I focused full time on trading. And here I am right now working with TOKERO, building a lot of great stuff with a very nice team. And I hope that I can give you a lot of value in this stream.
Thank you. Thank you. Sabin?
Well, time to speak in English. Thank you for this opportunity. We did try to move the office into speaking in English, but let's just say we tried a few times. My name is Sabin Simionescu. I am the technical part of TOKERO, the developer that wrote the first some versions. And right now, I'd call myself a jack of all trades. So pick your trade and start throwing questions at us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sabin. Once again, we'll have the opportunity to discuss much more things with everyone from the speakers today. So I want to present you the agenda for tonight. What exactly will you learn in this webinar? So first of all, we'll give you methods to build a portfolio with returns above the market average, investment strategies based on technical and macroeconomical analysis, real examples of portfolios that have performed well in the recent months, and ways to invest smartly even with a low budget, because I think this is the magical in crypto, because you can start with not so much money than many others industries. What recommend us today as TOKERO to come and discuss about crypto? We have now 7 years on the market and a team of 40 people, full-time people. We are one of the biggest players in Southeast and Central Europe with our own crypto exchange and launchpad. And we have a lot of partners and integration. And here I can say about centralized exchanges. Now we have integration with all the major centralized exchanges like Kraken, Binance, KuCoin, Mexi, and Bybit. We recently integrate with decentralized exchanges, and here Sabin will have much more to speak about tonight, because it's quite interesting what we are building here. We have 4 banking partners. Right now we are in partnership with ClearJunction and OpenPay from UK, with NextPay from Lithuania, and once again recently with Revolut. Also, we have 2 card payment processors as partners, Trust Payments from Spain and Nuvei also from Spain. Also, because Mika is knocking on the door, we have compliance partners like Chainalysis and Ondato, infrastructure, Azure, Infura, MetaMask, and very important, a blockchain partner, Solana. We are, let's say, we tapped quite hard since the last year into the Solana ecosystem. We are very present there. We announced publicly a partnership with Solana, and will mint very soon our utility token, TOKERO token, on the Solana blockchain. And also we have started to bring on our launchpad a lot of projects, early stage projects from the Solana ecosystem. Also, we have a gift for you if you'll stay until the end, and I highly recommend you to do that. We have 3 ebooks for you with a total value of 60 euro, but we'll give those ebooks to you for free. But for that, you will need to stay until the end of this webinar, and my colleagues will give you the link to download all the ebooks. So, the agenda for today. Introduction into the market context, what is happening right now into the crypto space, because it's quite crazy. We've had quite high expectation from the start of 2025. We are not there yet, but as Marius already said, there's a lot of hope for this year, a lot of good things we hope that will happen. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk also about risk profiles and investment strategies, because it's very important to know your risk profile, to be aware of that when you are investing into crypto, and to have and to build a plan for that. It's very important to start your investments with the risk profile and the plan. We'll talk about types of portfolios and building a profitable one. Macro and technical analysis, as I said, with Mihai. He has a very good experience on that, and also, I suppose, Marius. We'll talk about case studies, market lessons, and at the end of this webinar, we'll have a Q&A. And also, surprise for today, Sabin will have a special topic about DEX integration and DEX trading. It is something very new, quite profitable, I will say, but he will tell you much more about this later today. So, gentlemen, let's start. And what I want from you is in 1-2 minutes to tell me how you feel the market right now. What is your opinion about the current market, and what is your opinion about the market this year? What will come, what we should expect? Adrian?
Very interesting. A few days ago, it was Consensus Hong Kong. I wasn't at that event, but the people who went there said that the market sentiment seemed bearish. So this was the feeling there. No many news in terms of like new projects or new initiatives or new verticals. I would say that is by far the most exciting period of this industry, because slowly the regulation is coming, and some of the bad players are removed from the market. It's a very key moment. Still the volatility is here, but it was a screenshot today from a tweet made by CZ in 2020, when he said that we will see in a few years that will be like panic in the market because Bitcoin went down from, I don't know, 100,000 to 80,000. And he made a prediction that in a few years we will see another headline that Bitcoin went from 1 million to 800,000 something. So it's a jungle still. It's a jungle, this industry, with so many species. And because there are so many species, it will be like a natural selection based on different criteria. So the ones who will adapt will win. It's about the projects, it's about founders, and even it's about the people active in the market, either institutional investors or retail investors, because things are changing, and if you are not adapting, the market will kick you out. And we will discuss about few strategies during this webinar. So I would say that is the most exciting moment in the market, with ups and downs, of course. And we have to pay very good attention to what's happening in the market.
Thank you, Adrian. Marius?
In my opinion, I think every year is critical for Bitcoin. If we're looking back a couple of years ago, we hit critical moments when people are panicking, right? And this is exactly what we see. It's a market sentiment, as Adrian was saying, that the sentiment is bearish. After every move on the upside, there is some sort of retrace, right? If there will be just upside, everybody will get in and everybody will get out in the same time, right? If everybody is winning in the market, who's losing, right? And this is exactly what it comes down to. It comes down to each individual investor or institutional investor to create a strategy that works for them, right? We're going to touch a little bit on risk management later on and how to spot opportunities based on technical analysis and fundamentals. But I will say every year it's crucial because every year you're striving to do better. Every year you're striving to make profit, right? And there is a saying that sounds like this: if you're taking profit, you're never going to go broke. People have to understand that, right?
Very
if you're
deep,
only buying and you're not selling to book profits, right, the market is going to take those profits away from you, and that's a given.
Sabin has a very strong opinion on that, and we discuss very often about that because a lot of investors are, let's say, very concentrated to a very good point to enter into the market, but most of them don't spot this moment to exit and cash out from the market. And it's a very bad thing to do like that. It's a very bad strategy.
It's the most common mistake that people are doing it. Yes, you're never gonna see what we've seen in Bitcoin in the past years, right? To go from $1 to $300, to go from $300 to 7,000, to go from 3,000 to 20,000, right? Those type of gains, they will get smaller and smaller, right? And I'll give you an example. If Bitcoin reaches 200,000, it's only 100%, right? Increase in price, right? If you go from $1 to $300, that's 300% increase, right? And so on, right? So every time the moves are going to get smaller in terms of percentages. People don't think percentages, they are looking at the dollar amounts. And with Bitcoin, I'll touch base a little bit right now. I think Bitcoin is becoming more of an index. It's the index for the crypto market, right? It's going to get too expensive at some point for retail investors to buy into Bitcoin. And I think most of the money will be made into altcoins. But we'll talk a little bit later about that.
Yeah, same opinion here. Okay, Mihai, what do you feel about the market right now? What do you feel about the market later this year?
I feel like the market right now is in a little bit of an uncertainty because it's right below a very important demand zone, and we try to figure out whether it's a accumulation or a distribution. As Mr. Grigoras said, Bitcoin has less and less powerful moves, where we can see that Bitcoin moves a little bit more conservative. And right now, everybody is asking when will be the altcoin season. But unfortunately, a lot of good projects don't get the attention that they deserve because everybody is looking for the new shiny coin, which will get them 100% over the night or something like that. And they don't put the work to understand the fundamentals of investment or of trading, so they can have a plan when they enter and they exit. As you guys said, everybody is focusing to enter the market in the best moment ever, but nobody's thinking where it's okay for us to take profit and move to something else or reaccumulate or just stay on the side for a little bit.
Yeah, true story. Sabin?
Okay, let's go a little wild here. You are saying that Bitcoin won't have the same swings that it was known for, like in percentages. I think it will have significant swings, but on a larger time scale. You still get 100%, you still get 500%, but it will take longer, which means investors will have to adapt their mentality into you don't get rich overnight with Bitcoin. What I would like to see in the market, I believe everybody in the call is old enough in the market to have caught CryptoKitties, for example, and what craze that started, and NFTs, and introduce list of other items. What's next? What's the next big thing that is coming this year or next year? That's actually what I'm interested in. Because you can make a lot of money with crypto, or you can really make a lot of money if you catch the trend extremely early.
Yes, this is what we are working on into Tokero Ventures, and this is what probably everybody is looking in the crypto space. And yes, maybe for today we need some answers for that. So everybody in this Zoom, if you have any kind of idea, please share it with our audience. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit. It was just the introduction about what is the sentiment right now into the market. Let's discuss a little bit on the risk profiles and investment strategies. Here, I think we can start also with Adrian, and after that continue with Marius.
Adding up to the answers to the first question with the opening subject, what you see on the screen is an illusion in most cases. For example, my risk profile is moderate. How I do like 30% stocks, 30% crypto, 30% real estate, and 10% very like high risk, high reward things. My thought all the time is not to be liquidated, so to protect the principal, to protect the capital, and the risky bets are for a small percentage of the portfolio. I never bet anything on one asset because there are so many things you can't control, and things usually are happening very fast, and they are going high or they are going down, and everyone should assess themselves about the risk profile and find a plan to be safe first, not to cry later, I would say. I don't do leverage trading. I do a very little bit, and also I just used a company for hedge strategies, and they are very good at it. They make about like 10% per month in average. This is the results they are getting. But yes, but I don't have the guts to do this myself. And I'm more like a buy and hold person, and I always sell when I'm fine with the profit, because I said everything from my point of view, what I see on the screen is an illusion.
Profits are profits. I have an interesting question for you and also for Marius. Sabin said earlier in this Zoom about this mentality to get rich overnight. All of us, we are people from Southeast Europe. Here, everybody wants to be rich overnight. Now, Adrian, you are in Dubai. Marius is in Chicago. He's laughing now. How do you deal now with this mentality that I suppose you bring it from Southeast Europe? What is the mentality in Dubai and the people that you are interact with? And also I'll have this question for Marius.
I believe that everywhere in the world, people want to get rich fast. Now there's a question, of course.
Not in Germany. I have a very good friend in Germany, a Romanian in Germany, and he amazed me that after a few years, around 7-8 years in Germany, he is now a long-term investor. He's thinking in other terms that we are used to do it here. So I think there are some areas in the world where the people, not all of them, are trying to get rich overnight.
Yes and no, but there is always a price to pay for something. So it's important how you get rich, but also in which way? What are you doing? Because there are many people doing rug pulls. This is their business model for getting rich, right? But they are getting rich while making many other people poorer. And from the energetic and from the economic point of view, it's not a sustainable way to build wealth. So it's doable, right? So of course, if everyone, I believe, wants to advance on the wealth scale, but from my point of view, it's about also to respect some principles which will make this climbing, with, of course, with ups and downs, sustainable over time. You know, because otherwise you go into theft, you go into other problems. And I'm always saying to myself, okay, why did I do, I don't know, the MBA? Why did I work for so many years? You know, so I did that to become better as an entrepreneur, as an investor, right? This is one of my core beliefs. Of course, in the startup world, you get in the investments world, you do a lot of mistakes, you have failures, there are bankruptcies, there are so many bad things happening. But at least, and this is one of my principles, if there's a project I feel from the start that it's a scam, I stay away. Doesn't matter how shiny, what rewards are offered, because on the short term you can have very good, let's say, monetary or financial advantages, but over time can ruin your reputation. And in any industry, not just in crypto, let's say, if you lose anything tomorrow financially, you can still rebuild based on reputation. This is the most important thing. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. Only the ones not doing any work are probably perfect, right? But I try to respect some principles, but of course, everybody wants to get rich fast, right? It's not necessarily something from our European side, East European side. I believe that it's in the human nature. Come on, and also we are wired for shortcuts. That's why if you tell people that, okay, you need to work for 10 years to become better, no, they want a one-day MBA. We want like to get six-pack abs in 1 week, if possible, right? To become millionaire overnight. Why? Working for 5 years, what is that? We want millionaires now. And because we are wired for shortcuts and so on, that's why people say, okay, I will buy this token for $10 a day. So when number, when it's part of the culture anyway.
Yeah, true story. Marius, what you want to say about that?
I will start with the second question. This is a pretty good subject to discuss, because like everything else that you start in life, it's even a family, you start a business, you to reach overnight. That's the wrong mindset, right? People like Adrian was saying, people are not geared to put in the work, right? When I moved here, America actually humbled me. I saw what it takes to make it out there, right? It's not the America that everybody was dreaming, the American dream, right? You have to put in the work, and that takes time, right? I'm not saying you're not gonna get lucky on one or two projects where you invest $100 and out of nowhere you make $100,000 out of it. It's possible, and I've seen it happen, right? But it's not always the case, right? You have to acquire some sort of skills, whether it's investing, whether it's my previous background is being an electrician, right? In order to advance in life in general, you need some sort of skill, preferably a high income skill, right? Trading, it's a high income skill. You can generate a lot of income through trading, and then further on, my case with the hedge fund. And I think getting rich overnight a lot of people don't see actually what is happening between that overnight. They only see the end result where, hey, this guy, my cousin, he made $1 million, right? But nobody is looking that his cousin learned how to do certain things, or learn how to invest, or learn how to, develop those skills for the past 10 years. They only see the result. They don't see the back end of the story. And that's what, the big gurus out there that are teaching people all kinds of courses, they amplified the idea of you can get rich really fast in crypto, right? Whether you're buying in the primary markets like the DEXs, right, or things like that. But as we can see, not all the projects are surviving, right? Especially in a bear market. So there will be projects that will die off. In terms of risk, each person is unique. And when I say that, I actually mean it, right? We have all different risks that we're willing to take, right? You can't put two people in the same room and say, hey, I'm actually on the same risk level as this guy next to me. We all think the same. We all want different things, different outcomes, right? If I want a better outcome, I'm willing to risk a little bit more. If I want something slow and steady, right, I'm gonna risk a little bit less, right? As long as I reach my destination, I reach my end goal, it doesn't matter so much about the risk, it matters the end goal, right? But to give you an example, people in the crypto space, they have, it's a wide array of risk management, right? And I'll give you a couple examples. If you want slow and steady, you become a liquidity provider. You collect 16% a year, 14% a year, being a liquidity provider for an exchange, for example, right? And you know that that's what you're gonna get, right? Then you go one level higher, where you can say, hey, I want to risk a little bit more, and that's where I come in and say, hey, you can invest in the hedge fund. You're gonna get a little bit more than what you're getting on being a liquidity provider, but in the same time, you have to risk a little bit more, right? And then there is another level where you have long-term investors. You're risking over there, you're risking a little bit more than what you're risking in a hedge fund, but you're open to the market volatility, right? The markets go up and down all the time. So you're open to the volatility. Now, in my opinion, the highest risk possible that you can ever have in the crypto market is to be a day trader, because now you're working on small percentages. Some investors, they prefer futures or derivatives with leverage, right? Which amplifies the gains, but also amplifies the losses. So as a form of risk management, you can't have a template for everybody. The template doesn't work, right? We are all individuals. We're all thinking different ways, and therefore there are different risks that everybody is willing to take.
Yes, right. You can't have a template, but probably, let's say if we split most of the investors in three categories, conservative, medium, and high risk. What would you recommend? But not financial advice. We are not giving financial advices here, just our ideas and opinions. What do you recommend from all those cryptocurrencies that are right now on the market? What is your opinion about each of these kind of portfolios? Once again, conservative, medium, and a high risk profile.
Right. If you're looking to be conservative, definitely invest in, I'll say, the top 10, maybe top 20 projects, right? We already know Bitcoin doesn't move. I mean, you get the volatility.
Doge, you know that Doge right now it's in top 10 projects.
Right. Let's forget the meme coins, right? So top 10 without the meme coins. We know Ethereum, it's not that volatile as the other ones, right? We know Solana, it got some volatility, but still it's not the moves where we see 20, 30, 40% moves in a day, right? So if you want to be conservative, in my opinion, pick the top 10 projects, go on CoinMarketCap, accept Dodge, right? And start buying small, right? And apply a dollar cost average. I think that's the most conservative way of investing. If you want medium, you start looking for, I would say medium caps, right? Something that have a cap rate in around 100 to, let's say, 500 million, right? As market cap. I think that will gonna make it kind of moderate risk, right? And then if you really want to risk a lot, then you're going definitely into the altcoins, you're going into the meme coins, you're going into pretty much everything out there that moves, right? I think that's high risk. In the same time, again, you're going high risk, you're having a lot more volatility. You got to understand that you have to take the profits when you have them and so forth. So I think it comes down to the strategy, right? If you don't have a strategy, you shouldn't get into this market at all. I'm having conversations with people every single day. And as of right now, I haven't met somebody that told me they never lost money in the crypto market, right? And that's because they don't have a strategy. That's the main thing about crypto and investments in general. You have to have a strategy behind your decisions.
Thank you, Marius. Mihai, talking about indicators, tell us about your activity. What indicators do you use for, let's say, make a good trade? And after that, we'll circulate back to Marius, because also I know that Marius is an active trader and he also can reveal about his secrets regarding his strategies.
If you allow me, I will share my screen so I can show everybody how I'm working. First of all, I mean, the most important thing to understanding trading, it's price action. Before any indicator, before anything, you have to understand how price moves. Because of that, I draw a little bit on my screen to show everybody that market moves in two big ways: trending and ranging. As you can see, ranging it's spending a lot more time. We can see right here that we have two ranges here. The first one is 260 days and the second one it's almost 200 days, and the range period was only for 30 something days. So it's pretty clear that we have to focus a lot more on ranging trade. As an indicator, if I have to choose some of them, I really enjoy using EMAs, which I'll show you right now. I enjoy using EMA 50 and EMA 200 because I feel that they give a lot of true signals when they cross. And I'll show you right now how I'm using them. First of all, I like to customize my indicators. I'll change colors and I will make them a little bit thicker so it's easier to see. So a simple strategy that every investor could use, and it takes no time at all. They could buy when the 50 EMA cross over 200 EMA, and they can sell when 50 EMA goes under 200 EMA. This gives a lot of good signals. They don't give you that peak performance where you can catch the bottom, the peak or bottom, whatever they want to call it, but they give you a strategy and they give you something to rely on, because you have a graphic way to see when the price is reaching some exhaustion, and it's a clear signal that something is going to happen. Another indicator that I like to use, it's a mechanical oscillator, which is called stochastic RSI. I like to use it only on weekly time because it gives true signals, as I told earlier. I use it mainly to see when the trend is exhausted. As you can see on the graphic, every time it reaches the lower values, after that it goes in a rally. And every time it reaches the higher values, the trend is changing. So if you combine those two indicators, I think you'll get a lot better results than most of the trades that go into the market with no strategy and no plan to how to execute that trade.
Okay, Marius, do you have anything to add about your strategies?
Yes. So I apply a lot of technical analysis. I do apply patterns. We saw a clear example in his presentation of the chart. We had the bottom was a Wyckoff accumulation, and the top that we just saw was a Wyckoff distribution, right? The range was broken on the downside. Definitely, it has some more downside, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. But I wish I could share my screen, but I only use two indicators, right? I remember my early days when I had 20 some indicators on my chart. I was trying to combine all kinds of different indicators, but it all came down to patterns, a trend indicator, which is the EMA. My favorite one is 200 EMA, and then we had I added to my chart. I added the RSI. Now some of the people that I talk about RSI with, they don't like the RSI because it gives divergences, right? It can stay in overbought for a long time. It can stay in oversold a lot of times. And I've found a little secret about the RSI. You can spot the best entries and the best exits with the RSI. I discovered it by mistake. I was literally drawing trend lines on the RSI. When you combine the patterns, like a rising wedge, for example, and you draw a rising wedge on the RSI connecting the dots, when that breaks, usually the market moves in your favor, I will say 95% of the time. My hedge fund, to give you an example, hasn't lost money in about 3 years, right? And it's all based on that idea, right? Combining the RSI with the patterns, it gives it the best entries and the best exits possible into the market. RSI, it's a overly used indicator, but not a lot of people actually understand the RSI and how it moves, right? It's not buying when it's under 30 or selling over 70, right? It's pretty much giving that trade the time it needs to play out, right? A lot of times people are taking profits early, which is good, right? They're taking profit. But most of the time there is the second leg up or the third leg up that can be seen with RSI if you have a little bit of patience. So this is what I'm using personally in trading. You guys can look up the Wyckoff distributions and accumulations. You can just go on Google, right? They're gonna give you examples over there, and that's exactly what we see on the chart. When we had the bottom at 16,000, that was the accumulation, and now we have the Wyckoff distribution at the top, right? It's more visible on a smaller time frame, not on the weekly, but it's pretty visible out there.
Thank you, Marius. Very clear, and congrats on your results. Very good results with the hedge fund. I have a question for Adrian, and after that we'll circulate back to Sabin for the DEX integration and DEX trading, the new kid on the block. Adrian, you are not such an active trader. I think you are more, let's say, a long-term investor and a hodler. In the last few years, I think it's a quite huge battle between hodlers and day and active traders. Who do you think that are the winners? I don't know, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, what is the best for you, to hodl or to trade?
It really depends on a lot of factors. So I suggest, especially for the ones needing like a more complex strategy, to split their capital into buckets. So how Marius said, okay, you have a bucket with top 10, let's say, if you want to have like something more stable, then to have a bucket with low caps between 100 to 500 million or even less, I would say like top 100, and to have a bucket where you do leverage trading like crazy, you know. And the thing is that if you are liquidated, because we see so many posts about this amount of funds was liquidated last night, and usually this happens in moments of big volatility, you will have liquidated, I don't know, worst case scenario, a part of the portfolio, so you can get back in the market. Now, it really depends. I would say if you because it's a continuous learning in this space. You need to go in Telegram groups. You need to go to conferences to see ideally projects at the beginning. So if you are lucky, or to research or to relationships, you are able to purchase tokens very, very early in very good projects. And after that, to sell at the right moment, the multiples can be pretty big and much bigger than you could make in trading. Because at the end of the day, and this is a very harsh rule I've learned at the beginning in 2016, like the house takes all, like the exchanges, the platforms, they make commissions on the way up and on the way down, right? So they earn all the time. It's not the same with users, and somehow there is a percentage between how many winning trades you have and how many losing trades, and also based on mentality and not managing risk. I'm talking here more about, let's say, retail traders, because usually have hedge funds, they have certain strategies, they have a lot of ways to protect the capital, but we are talking, let's say, about the retail traders. So they make a lot of money with some positions, but after that get greedy, because both the stock market and the crypto market are led by these two big emotions, greed and fear. So they earn a lot of money from some winning trades based on a strategy, based on luck, you don't know. They bet a lot, becoming greedy, and sometimes it's one bad move which liquidates them. So again, we are talking about not managing emotions and also not managing the risk, because they look at the potential rewards but don't assess the risk. And now you don't get the rewards, but the risk will wipe you out. And for me, let's say for my investor profile, it's important somehow not to be liquidated. Let's say this is my biggest fear, I would say.
Yeah, I feel you, Adrian. So, Sabin, before dig into the DEX space, what is your opinion also about trading versus hodling?
Oh, fascinating discussion. I was smiling when Marius was saying Bitcoin at 16K. I was there. You know the meme, I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago. Yeah, well, some of us caught Bitcoin at 1,000 and sold like idiots, me. Then some of us bought Bitcoin at 16,000 and haven't sold yet, so I don't feel that bad anymore. In my case, trading is not for me. I've accumulated over 20 years of programming. I like what I do. I like building stuff. I don't like losing money. That translates into no liquidations because I don't do any futures trading, any leverages, nothing. I know how they work. I appreciate the technology behind it. I don't like losing money. So I have an option. I can learn how to do it and do it properly. But my co-panelists earlier were saying you have to be on Telegram groups. You have to go to conferences. Yeah, but I like what I do. I like being behind the keyboard. I like the conferences too. They're awesome. The last year I was 80 days in a series of conferences. It's awesome. But you don't get to work on what you like when you're traveling that much. So you have a choice. You can choose to change your daily activity. You can choose to become a trader, a professional one, but you have to be willing to let your old job behind, let it stay behind. And when you get liquidated, if it's 2 years after you quit programming, for example, at least in programming, you're kind of in a problem because in 2 years, the languages change so much and the techniques and the teams and everything that you have to start over learning. And nobody's going to hire a junior at 35, 45, something like that. In my case, holding, yes. Taking profits, absolutely. Leverage trading, no, not for me.
I think it's very important to know your risk profile and to act according to this risk profile. And if you are fine with that, it's wonderful.
In my case, it's almost at cognitive dissonance, the level of risk profile. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. So entrepreneurship equals risk by default. But I won't take the risk into trading real time in crypto and being there at 3 a.m. watching the candle go red or green at the last second. No, it's a choice. At least it's the choice I'm making now. But I do appreciate that somebody else does it and shares their know-how. So thank you.
This is the beauty of the ecosystem. I think it's very important to contribute, and I think each of us, we are contributing to the ecosystem, and we are sharing all these wonderful and also maybe not so wonderful experiences because, yeah, I think there are much more lessons in the failure than in, let's say, winning. But in the same time, it's important to taste all of them to be, I don't know, a strong product.
Sometimes you win, other times you learn. Do it enough time, you drop the L.
Yeah, right. So what about
Let's have
indexes?
some fun with the decentralized environments. Like I was saying, everybody likes money, or at least I hope everybody likes money. Thank you, Adrian, for confirming. Everybody likes money, but not everybody likes working for that money. So when you have the opportunity to buy a token very, very early, let's say you have some kind of app that notifies you when on a certain decentralized exchange, some indicators are triggered, like a new coin listed in that day reaches a volume or something like that. What do you have to do? Well, how about I try a share screen and show you? You need to share a window. It's going to be a Firefox window from here. And you should be seeing something black right about now. Bingo, there we go. Since Tokero token is on Solana scheduled, we're going to do this presentation on a DEX working on Solana on Jupiter. By the way, they had an awesome conference at Istanbul about 1 month ago. Really nice people, awesome community. So somebody told you, let's buy ARK. So you go here and you manage to get to this page. And what do? What's the big button that you click? Oh, first I have to connect my wallet. Okay, let's think. I would like $100 worth of ARC. Yeah, connect the wallet. Oh, I have to connect the wallet. I don't have a wallet. I'm new in crypto. What do I do? And when you start down this rabbit hole, you'll click on one of the icons and you'll go and you'll install and you'll, some hours later, provided you do have the endurance to do this for a few hours, you'll have everything configured and you can make your first trade. What's the price by then? Some hours later. Where is it? Up, down? Do you still get the same opportunity? What is built at TOKERO? You just say, I want to buy ARC. Let me start from the beginning. You have USDT or Euro, works with Euro as well. You want to buy ARC. You want to buy ARC, click on the buy button. How much do you want? $100 worth of ARC. This is the item. You click it, give it a few seconds, and this is it. Now, let's see. Kind of the same amount, but without all of the hassle. You can do it. You can sell it back if you see a better opportunity or you have reached enough profit. You can sell it back as well. You go back, click ARC, click on the sell button. You sell 100% of your ARC. Some of the amounts are still experimental. This feature is only for us. It's not available for the customers. You're actually getting a preview of what we are going to show this weekend at Crypto Expo Europe. As you can see, the amount is wrong here in USDT.
But it's working.
And this is it. I bought it twice, so this is why it's giving me a bigger amount. I've made the test before starting the call. You don't have USDT. What do? Well, you can buy it with a credit card as well. Let's say I want 100 euros worth of ING, for example, in this case. You go through the process, you enter the card number, everything, and that's it. The final interface is the same. It's 10 seconds after you've inputted the card data, it's bought. One thing that I'd like to mention as very important, let's have a look. We go to the homepage of Jupiter.ag, Jup.ag. Remember the coin name? IMG. IMG. Pick one. Which is the real one that you were recommended, let's say, to buy or suggested to buy by a friend? Which are the scams? Please notice the scroll. So, which one? We have already hard-coded the addresses, so everything works. There's also something that I'd like to tell you about how TOKERO works. We have over 100% coverage for every token that somebody owns through us, that somebody has ever bought or deposited with us. So I'd like to show you how this one was actually done. In the address of one of the addresses that we use on a decentralized system, we actually bought what we are saying we are buying. So you can have a look here and see that we actually bought what we were saying, ARC. sold $192 worth of ARC, or earlier in the buying sequence, it's one of these. I'm just going to have to open them all. Swapped for ARC. Swapped for ARC. This is my test. This is the test that I was on live share. So you're not getting a contract for difference. You're getting the actual tokens and the ability to withdraw those tokens. Be it withdraw USDT at the end or withdraw whatever you are buying in that context. The whole idea is the opportunities are at the beginning. If you wait until something is listed on an exchange that has a huge reputation, by that time, the price of that token can be 100x what it would have been weeks ago. There are opportunities, but you have to hunt them when there are still nations. And this is what we are offering as a technology provider. We are offering you the ability to buy tokens when they are very fresh, without the scams. We cannot guarantee that the token itself will not be a rug pull, but what we can offer you is skipping the list.
Sabin, can you share with us, let's say, what is the recipe behind? What is the technology behind? How we as a team do that?
I'd like to thank our tech lead for coding this one. This guy is awesome. He can code whatever you need, and at a speed that is really impressive. Thank you, Vlad. The way we are doing this is we are actually tapping into the blockchain itself and executing these transactions on chain by API when you are clicking the buttons. So practically, you want to buy something more, let's buy $50 worth of IMG. Top transaction before was 5JQQ. Okay, so again. I did say this is experimental. Oh, I broke something. Like I did say, it's experimental. The idea is the system actually has transactions here for every operation that you did. So we are tapping into the decentralized liquidity pools, the decentralized automated market makers, actual blockchain technology that, to the best of my knowledge, did not exist before blockchains became so popular.
Wonderful. We are already, let's say, at the end of the webinar. I'll give you a few remarks at the end to the other panelists. But in the end, Sabin, please tell us again about the DEX trading, because this is the first part. What you just show, it's only the, let's say, the beginning of the iceberg. What is behind what we are building here in terms of DEX trading?
In terms of what we are building, we are adding thousands of coins to Tokero. The idea itself is, if you get an opportunity, you should, if you find out about an opportunity, you should be able to buy it on Tokero as well. So practically any token that you can buy on a decentralized platform that we are connected to, and we are connecting into Jupyter for Solana, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Uniswap for Arbitrum. We are connecting into a lot of these. So the chains that have huge liquidity will be available.
So brace
thousands
yourself.
of coins.
Brace yourselves, Tokero, it's about to become the most diversified platform in the market. So in the end of this webinar, I want to give some advices to, let's say, not maybe a younger you, but someone who is just entering right now into the market. And what piece of advice will you give to a beginner in the market? And we'll start again with Adrian.
when you said that, my first thought was about what the heck I was doing in 2013. Why? Why? I was thinking that maybe I bought Bitcoin by mistake or something like that. No. The advice is to dip your toes and learn, study, read, and one very, very important principle to take into consideration. When something is all over social media, it's too late to enter. Usually in that moment, the smart money is exiting. So if you want to follow that asset, wait, because it will go down a lot.
Are you talking about Trump coin?
No, in general, this is a rule I've learned about 3 years ago. When something, an idea or a token is all over the place, pushed by paid media and so on, it's too late to enter, because a drop in price will follow, because the early investors will cash out, while the new less experienced people will enter into the market, so they will be liquidated or they will have losses.
Exit
If you
liquidity.
really
We have a term.
exactly, yeah, exit liquidity. If you really want to, I don't know, to put something on that asset, wait until it goes down, because it always will go down. And in parallel with this principle, when something is growing like crazy, sooner or later it will have a correction, which could be very big, because nothing is rising forever. And usually here you have to temper your emotions like crazy, and it's very difficult to do that. But by exercise, we are able to handle our emotions.
Great, thank you, Adrian. Marius, what is your piece of advice for a beginner?
So, piece of advice, just like Adrian, learn and educate yourself in this space. It's a fairly new space, even though it's been around since 2013. It's still new for a lot of people. And like Adrian said, if you see it on the news, you're late to the game, right? You can always look for opportunities at a later time, but that's what they're counting on, the smart money. They're counting on the news to hype certain things so they get the liquidity they need to start selling, right? I'm thinking as an institution, right? I'm thinking as a hedge fund. I'm not thinking as a retail investor. And that's exactly what I want to see from the market, right? The moment everything starts being hyped, we saw what happened. Bitcoin 20,000 dropped to 3,000, right? Bitcoin to 56,000, right? Dropped to 16. Now Bitcoin again to 100,000. Again, what do we see? We see the shift in the market, right? It's the same narrative over and over again. So for whoever wants to get their feet wet into the crypto space, there are only two options, right? It's even they learn how to do it themselves, or they leave professionals to do it for them, right? There's no middle ground. I'll do something and have somebody else manage my accounts, for example, right? It's even you learn how to do it yourself and you have full control, or you get, to give you an example, there are companies out there, they have reserves. They have some cash reserves and they don't know what to do with them, right? Instead of going blindly into the markets with no education whatsoever, they can still take advantage of the crypto market, being involved in the crypto market, but through a third party, right? Through somebody else, somebody that, hey, I know what I'm doing. This is what I've been doing for a lot of time. And that's their approach, and that should be their approach because they're playing it safe, right? Learning, it's a learning curve. It takes time, and that's what people don't understand. It's not that you understand how the blockchain technology works. It's not understanding what Bitcoin does and how it started the whole craziness. It's about market sentiment, it's about price action, it's about market structure, and the fear and greed index, right? Buy when people are fearful and sell where people are greedy is the same principle all over again. Also, crypto markets, like all the other markets, it's a news-driven market. Every little piece of news that comes out, it influences the market. It's even on the positive or on the negative. On the negative side, we already know Elon Musk came and said Bitcoin is overpriced. Guess what happened? Bitcoin dropped, right? So it's a news-driven market, just like the stock market, just like Forex market, right? If an economy goes down, guess what will going to happen with the currency in that economy? We're going to lose its value as well, right? We've seen it time and time again with the Turkish lira, with the money in Argentina, right? We saw it over and over again, but it's when the news broke out, right? So being a news-driven market, it's very influential. It's very easy to manipulate. Even a fake post on Twitter can influence markets today. That's how powerful social media is. So instead of going blindly into this market, especially the crypto market, get yourself educated first. Learn how the markets move, learn the market cycles, learn a little bit of technical analysis so you can get good entries and good exits from the market and book profits. If you don't book profits, you're going to wait. Imagine the people that bought Bitcoin at 56,000 and they didn't panic and they sold in a loss. They had to wait, almost 3 years for the price to get back to 56,000, right? Who had that patience? Because me as a hedge fund, I have to make money, if not daily, weekly. If not weekly, every single month, I have to make money, right? But for retail investors that don't understand that hodling, it's a long-term goal, right? They will panic. The sentiment are kicking in. When you see your account dropping 30%, 40%, 50%, and they're still looking at Bitcoin and say, no, I'm holding Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin 100%, right? It takes a lot of guts. That's the truth, right? And again, who has the patience to wait another 3 years for the price to come back where it went when you start buying, right?
Yeah, and patience is not only about patience, it's a position where you are if you can be patient, because if you have, I don't know, bills to pay, you can be patient. Maybe you are forced to sell. So it's another important thing.
And as a newcomer into the crypto market, somebody called the crypto market a roller coaster, and that's what it is. They have to learn how to manage their emotions. Don't get emotional. Don't get in love with Bitcoin. Just learn how to trade it. You can make a lot more money if you learn how to trade it than just marrying Bitcoin and selling, hey, I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin forever. I'll hold Bitcoin with my dear life for the next 10 years.
I always say that it's a stupid code.
Right. Exactly. That's my point too, right? So get in love with the profits, not with the projects. Make profits, cash them in, and move on, right? We can see every day in the markets, and I love, by the way, the technology that you guys are building over there at TOKERO. We see every day hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coins coming to the market every single day. The opportunities are there, right? Don't think about Bitcoin that you missed the train. There is always another Bitcoin coming to the market.
Nice, very nice. Thank you very much, Marius. Mihai, what's your piece of advice for a beginner?
First of all, you have to understand yourself when you are deciding to enter the market, because you have to know what you want to be in this environment. You want to be a trader, you want to be an investor, you want to be a builder, you want to be a liquidity provider, or whatever you want to be. After that, you have to look up to somebody that has already did it. So you can follow a path that it's already worked on. And after that, you can adapt that road for yourself and make it yours. But first of all, you have to understand yourself because the market is ruthless, and every bad habit that you have, it will be shown in the market, and you will lose a lot of money because of that. And after that, you have to understand to understand the principle of the market, what moves price, why price stops on a certain point, whatever it happens with behind the scenes. And after that, you'll become a better person and a better investor.
Wise words from the youngest guys in the room. Thank you very much. Sabin, your piece of advice.
I think my advice is going to be a little different. Learn about the market, learn about how stuff works, but learn in a matter of hours, not in a matter of years. Like, put in a weekend, put in 2 weekends, learn how this stuff works, spend some money into it. It can be 10 euros, it can be 100 euros. Don't think, oh, I have to spend a fortune. Spend some real money. Maybe you make a little money, maybe you pay 100 euros for the entire lesson. You'll notice it feels different when it's your money. Whether you make it or you lose it, if it's your money, you'll feel a little more intensity. Or if you have very little, a lot of intensity. But then, do you really want to hunt all the projects, or you simply want more returns than your bank offers? If your bank offers 3% a year at a 5% inflation, I think borderline, without the stable coins, obviously, and the meme coins, any top 10, 20 CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap project will give you that. Maybe not that year. Maybe it'll take 3 years until the price reaches again, like the colleagues were saying earlier, people bought at 56K and waited 3 years for Bitcoin. And don't invest money you need next month.
Yeah. Invest
or the month after that.
To lose. Yeah. Very good.
It's not necessarily money that you are willing to lose. Actually, this expression gives it a bad name. You're willing to lose it. It's money you're not going to need for the next 3 to 5 years.
Even better.
Yeah. For example, in my opinion, the perfect investor is a person that has a newborn, and they are investing in the name of the child, and they're not going to need that money for 18 years. You can do dollar cost average for 18 years. That is one awesome position.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much, Sabin. Thank you very much, guys. We are at the end of this webinar. I hope we come up with very good ideas, not only for the beginners, also, I don't know, for the one that are even experts in this domain. I think the conclusion is that we are still early, and even if the market right now is not in the best condition, I think a lot of good things are about to happen in the market. So thank you all, and keep in touch. Keep your eyes on our speakers, keep your eyes on Tokero, because we are building here some wonderful feature that will be released very, very soon. Bye-bye.